In today's show, we're looking ahead to all of Wednesday's action in the NBA. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and I am the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com and at Yahoo Sports Australia. And you can find me on Twitter as always at redrock_bball and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Thank you for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. We're looking ahead to Wednesday. It's a busy day. There are 11 games on. Be aware whether you actually make sense for you to add someone or not. It probably doesn't. But if you're in the rare spot where you do have an amount of ads that make sense, you do have an active roster spot, or there is someone so good sitting on your waiver wire, you got to grab him, do it. This is not going to be for everyone. I know that. Keep watching though.
Let's get it on, Gilly.
Yahoo Points Leagues, who are we streaming in? I think Poku basically fits into the too good to leave on the wire portion with all of the injuries in OKC. Poku and a name down the bottom of that list there, Isaiah Roby. I think they've got to be rostered. Even if you would add them and you've already got 10 actives, all right, they're probably better than your 10th and 9th guy for the rest of the year. That would be my guess. Look at it. You can tell that better than I can. But they're absolutely guys we look at. Trey Lyles, probably in that boat as well, as is Tyus Jones. And they're all available in lots of spots. But their value is so pumped up at the moment that you got to look at them as guys, even though it is a busy day, does it make more sense? Can you gain 10 extra fantasy points from adding them, plus the additional games, the additional 3 more games they play this week? Does that make sense to use it on a high volume day? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. But the names we're to look at is Poku and Lyles and Tyus Jones, and probably Isaiah Roby falls into that. Maybe even Teo Maledon. The other guys are players who I think is going to have some value. Keon Johnson. He's going to get a lot of minutes. No Josh Hart, Justice Winslow out, everyone else bloody out. I don't think he's particularly good at this point, Keon, but a lot of minutes are going to get pumped in. Brandon Williams, similarly. These guys are available, and they might make sense for you to add on a Wednesday in your Yahoo Points League. Chuma Akiki, Wendell Carter's out again. Now, Chuma's been pretty annoying in terms of what he's been producing, but without Wendell, he'll probably start, probably play 30 minutes. And he's got real 30-point pop-off ability. 30 fantasy points, that is. So he's got to be an option. Damian Jones probably falls into the Lyles, Pokusevski zone of, Roby zone of, hey, I think I might have to add him. That's more so for categories than points, but he's still a points league option. And Jalen Smith, yeah, look, he's been good, but he has dropped off a little bit. Available in over 50%, so he is a guy we can look at, especially with the consideration that I have that Isaiah Jackson isn't going to be ready to go. At this point, I don't believe that has been confirmed. But let's have a look. I'm just double checking that on Isaiah Jackson. Now, he's still listed as questionable, so he should be. I don't think he's going to play. Anyway, that's where I'm trying to go with that. Let's look at ESPN Points Leagues. Who can we get to stream in there? Well, there's a lot of the same names. But if Drew Eubanks is somehow sitting available in your league, look, I don't want to use a cliche, but run, don't walk. What are we doing? He should have been added weeks ago. You missed out on one of the biggest games of the year from him yesterday. He's just got to be added. Simple as that. Pokusevski, Tyus Jones, Trey Lyles, Isaiah Roby, they all fit into that. Hey, you've got to add them and they will be startable. If you add all 5 of them, you probably don't start all 5 of them, but they're all around. And have a look to see if they're available. They're all available in over 70% of ESPN leagues. Chuma Akiki, Alec Burke's still floating around. He's playing 40 minutes a night, apparently. That's what they're going with. Grimes is out again. He's going to play a lot, and he's going to get a lot of opportunity, and he's been playing really well. Another guy that if he's sitting on your wire, it makes a lot of sense to have him there. Some of you guys will be holding on to players like Carmelo Anthony or Taylor Horton-Tucker or Dennis Schroeder or one of those guys, or maybe burning a zero on a De'Aaron Fox or a Christian Wood. You should be adding these players. Damian Jones, Teo Maledon, and again, I think Keon Johnson's got an opportunity. This is probably more skewing a little bit deeper, but maybe not. Maybe even a 12-team league guy Keon Johnson can become. Maybe you could look at Keon Johnson in PrizePicks, because PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy. You get every player, and they're all just there projected for all their points, their rebounds, their assists, steals, blocks, threes, whatever. And you just look at the number and go, all right, Keon Johnson points, over or under. Probably take the over, I reckon. And then it's it. You get 2 to 5 players, and the individual little line that you get, you smush them together, you can win up to 10 times your entry fee. Entries are fast, they're safe, they're easy. It's 60 seconds. Withdrawals are also very secure and very fast. And it's not just basketball. You can combine multiple sports into one entry. College sports, MMA, soccer, NFL, baseball, all that can be combined into one entry. And I've got a great deal for you over at PrizePicks. It's an exclusive no-brainer of an offer. $50 for free if a player in your first PrizePicks entry scores a single point. But you must use the code NBA. That's right, an exclusive offer available to Locked On listeners. Sign up today and use the code NBA. $50 for free if a player in your first PrizePicks entry scores a single point. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy. Let's go to category leagues now. Points category. Who do we stream in? These guys are all available using our advanced roster percentage metric. These guys are all available in 50% or more of leagues. Trey Lyles. He's getting a lot of minutes. It doesn't lead to wins because he's Trey Lyles, but he's getting a lot of minutes and he can score. Keon Johnson. Remember the name. He might shoot 30%, but he might have 16 points doing it and playing 38 minutes with Hart and Winslow and Simons all out. Teo Maledon. Just dropped a big double-double last time, didn't he? He's going to get every opportunity. Again, like Keon, he might shoot 30%, but the volume's going to be there. Lonnie Walker's back. He's probable with that back issue, and he scores. He scores a lot. He doesn't do anything else, but that's what he does. Damo Jones. Minutes, double-digit scoring. Ben McLemore's going to bomb away in Portland. He'll play 25-plus minutes. He might hit 7 threes. That's 20 points. It's actually 21. Corey Kispert, bigger role for him. Kuzma's out again. He'll be out Wednesday as well as Tuesday. Reggie Bullock, good option. Dante DiVincenzo's been a good scorer, getting good minutes. Jeremy Lamb, unlikely to play, I'd guess, with his hammy. Justin Holiday, limited minutes. And then Jalen Noel. Malik Beasley's out. Noel can score, man. Like, give him the ball in that second unit, he will cook. And without Beasley there to hog shots, Noel's going to score, man. If you're in deeper leagues, Jalen is an option for you. Even as you get desperate in 12s, you probably won't, but maybe. There's a lot of other names here you can consider first. Threes. Bullock, McLemore, the Winter Soldier Max Strus. Not only is he starting, but Vincent, Martin, and Duncan Robinson are all questionable. So he could start and could play 30 plus and could get a lot of shots here with all those guys maybe in, maybe out. Teo Maledon, Corey Kispert, Dante DiVincenzo, Eric Gordon and Schroeder are out again in Houston. So that means that Gary Bird is going to get to start. He's probably going to be terrible as he's been since, Christmas. But he can still hit 2 threes or 3 threes and can be a good streamer for that category. The two Justins, Holiday and Anderson. Again, Justin Holiday's minutes are down, but he can still get up threes. And Justin Anderson's been playing pretty well for Indiana. Last game was an exception, but he's been playing pretty well. And then Lon Walker. Oh, it gives me an opportunity. Let's do it.
Hello.
Yep. Lonnie Walker, a good opportunity to be a 3-point streamer as well. Let's look at rebounds. Trey Lyles at the top of this list here. Pretty obvious. Kevon Looney. Yes, the Warriors get a bunch of guys back, but he's still playing 24 minutes off the bench. The big sneeze, Precious Achiuwa. Ken Birch is out. Achiuwa can be a double-digit guy. He can also be a double-digit player in terms of field goals missed, but he can get rebounds. Damo Jones. Otto Porter, the man who's had double-digit rebounds in 3 of his last 4 games. Now, he could have 3 in this game, but he could also have 10. He's been playing really well. CJ Alabi's rebounding well, playing a lot of power forward with Trendon Watford out. And Onyeka Okongwu and Dwayne Dedman, current and former backup Hawks centers. They can get their boards in their minutes. After, obviously, Alabi, we get down to really low-minute players. But that's fine. They can still help. DeMarcus Cousins is a good rebounder per minute. And then Justin Anderson is a wing player. He can be a 6-rebound player in 30 minutes a night, which I do expect him to get. For the assists category, Chris Dunn, minutes are down to low 20s. He can still get 4 or 5 assists, though. Teo Maledon, really like that. Thomas Satoransky, starting, playing 30 minutes, really like that. Oh, that's 6 assist upside for both of those. Actually, it's not true. 6 assist value, maybe 10 assist upside for Maledon. Ish Smith can still get 4 or 5 in his reserve role. And then it gets hard. Jordan McLaughlin, He did have a 10 assist game in 20 minutes in one game? That's unrealistic, but he can dish him. Trey Jones is a pretty good assist guy. Markel Fultz, that's what we like him for. Keon, and then after that, it's rough. Keon Johnson, maybe. Deep leagues, Dacian Nix. I like this bloke. I like him. He's going to get minutes. 14 or 15 of them, I'd say. That might be 3 or 4 assists. And then the big ragu, Dante DiVincenzo, who's probably a 3 or 4 assist player as well. Let's go to steals. Chris Dunn at the top there, but there's quite a few steal options you can go for. Dunny, Dante DiVincenzo, the Doctor, Gary Payton, Delon Wright, especially if Hunter or Gallinari are out. Jose Alvarado converted from a 2-way deal into a full-time contract. Congratulations to him. But with Ingram back, his minutes are down. Still, he can get 2 steals. My man, Keon Johnson. Tomas Satoransky is a steals option too. McLaughlin. The big fella, Josh Christopher. I actually don't mind him as an ad just in general. No Gordon, no Schroeder. I don't think they're playing again this year. Christopher should get 30 minutes a night. He might score, hit threes, and get some steals. He might get 2 steals a game. It's a lofty aspiration. Maybe 1.4, 1.5. Maybe that's better. But there's value in him. And Otto Porter. We've seen him have bushels of steals at times this season and over the course of his career. But I want bushels of Built Bar because they are the best tasting protein bar ever. And in fact, if you go downstairs in my house, which you can't, but if you go down there, you can see there's boxes everywhere. I got boxes of Built Bar all over the place because they're that good. I love having a Built Bar in the morning. The flavors are amazing. And I've also got their puffs as well. The protein-infused marshmallow goodness. Lemon-dipped cheesecake flavor is the one I've got. There's a churro flavor out there as well. And they are just a different mix on the protein bar. Because you're used to protein bars. Historically, they've tasted like you're eating a shoe. Nobody wants to eat a shoe. Although I'm sure that there's some fetish channel on YouTube that has people eating shoes. I'm not into that. Neither are you. You want a delicious tasting protein bar. And these are high in protein, low in calories, low in fat, low in carbs, low in sugar. So head to Built.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 and you will save 15% off your order of Built Bars. Built Bar is built different. Let's stream the blocks in. There's a few big man options. A lot of the block streamers are all questionable. Like Isaiah Jackson. Is he going to play? Like he'd be a good block streamer. I don't know if he's going to play though. JaVale McGee. Is he going to play? If he's out, Biyombo you can look at. These guys are all at least better than questionable. They're all available to play. Okongwu, Damian Jones, Justin Anderson is a good shot blocker for a guard. Wing, Naz Reid, Grant Williams, Maxi Kleber. Surely Kleber's due for a block at some point. The big sneeze, Precious Achua had 4 blocks last game. Trey Lyles, one of the worst shot blocking big men out there, but big man out there, but he plays a lot of minutes. Zach Collins, he can be a good shot blocker. And Anthony Gill.
Let's get it on, Gilly.
Let's look at field goal percentage. Damian Jones, the massive one here. Huge influencer there. Okongwu can help. It gets a little rough after that. Maybe Robin Lopez they use. KJ Martin. Gaz Payton, Trey Lyles, Jericho Simsy. Jeff Green. Obi Toppin.
I don't want to hear any more about Obi-Wan.
Although the minutes for Toppin are probably going to be limited. And then Anthony Gill can help in the field goal percentage. For free throws, Josh Richardson, Grant Williams, Jeff Green, Corey Kispert, Bryn Forbes, Flaming Mo Wagner, Peyton Pritchard's an excellent free throw guy, Lou Williams, Reggie Bullock, and Lindy Waters III. Cool, no doubt. I was going to look at Wednesday, Thursday back-to-back streams, but I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do. You can all go ahead and see that. And in a lot of cases, most of you will have a full roster on Wednesday. So a lot of what I've talked about is bullshit. Yeah, it might make sense to add some of those guys. Like if Roby's there, you bloody get him. If Pokuševski's there, you get him. Because they're going to fit into your active roster. But if you're actually looking to maximize and boost your games played numbers, what you want to look at now is Thursday to Saturday. Friday's got 10 games on. So you might have a full roster then as well. But Thursday and Saturday are low as. So you're definitely going to have options. So, who can we look at? Well, the Atlanta Hawks. Onyeka Okongwu, Delon Wright. Hey, if the Italian cock is healthy, he's a great ad. Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, are they there? Grab them. Deeper leagues, Lou Williams. The Sixers play the Thursday-Saturday combo. George Niang. Gulp, DeAndre Jordan. He might play over those 2 games 30 minutes. That's a start. 30 minutes. I know he's shithouse. He could have 14 and 12 in 30 minutes. Very easily. And I know he's bad. He also might get 70% shooting. They are fantasy numbers. On merit, he shouldn't play a single second. But that doesn't matter to us because he is playing. The Nets. Goran Dragic. Yeah, good stream. Bruce Brown, if somehow he's available. I don't know what to do with the Claxton-Aldridge mix. Aldridge could be a stream. He could play 0 minutes. I got no idea. Claxton could be a stream. He's probably a bit safer than Aldridge at the moment, but again, it could blow up in our face. The Cavs, Isaac Okoro. Some value in him. Lamar Stevens, maybe. I'd prefer Okoro just because he gets more minutes than Stevens, but options there. Shake Milton, Kobe White. Of course, Alex Caruso, Dosunmu. If these guys are available, there's value in them for the Bulls for that Thursday-Saturday combination. And that will do it for me today. Don't forget to follow this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and on the Odyssey app. If you are here on YouTube, thumb us up. And leave your comments down below, guys. We are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.